Greetings, everyone. It is that time again for Brony Debates, where we've got nothing better to do than to read some dog water takes on Reddit and tell people how stupid they are. Hopefully, in the process, making the Brony community a more intelligent place to be for everybody. Instead of, whatever mind rot we tend to find on Reddit. And joining me for this thankless yet noble crusade, as always, is the gorgeous Princess Heather Blossom. How are you doing tonight?
I'm pretty chill. How about you?
I'm pretty chill myself, even though I'm just very, very tired all the time. I didn't sleep. I probably didn't sleep enough. That's probably part of it, but also just in general, I gotta get my regular jobs during the week are very exhausting, and I probably really just need a day or two to physically recover, and I don't really get a whole lot of that, but that's neither here nor there. Hopefully someday we'll fix that, or hopefully someday soon it'll just freaking kill me. DJ, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, but you're asking a lot.
Yeah? What am I asking a lot of?
That reading Reddit somehow makes the Brony fandom more intelligent. That's asking a lot.
Here's the thing: we gotta get more people watching the show so they can hear my objectively right opinions on everything and be educated. That's just the only way it's gonna work, But we can't do that with only 7 people watching the show. We got to get hundreds of people in here, maybe even thousands.
Well, Brony, if you do that, you won't have any more content.
That's fine. Okay. The whole purpose, people forget I am a teacher, right? They also forget that I am a health professional, right? So between these two things, the goal of those two professions is I never want to see you again. My job is to make it so that you don't need me, right? Do you understand that? Does that make sense?
Makes sense. It's just antithetical to your current position here.
Whatever. I don't care. If it was about the money, I would have quit a long time ago. Now then, we're gonna thank everybody who does give me money, because it does help and in keeping me here and hopefully building up to a point where I can get back into making actual videos, especially those on the $10 and up tiers, such as Heather, Shady, Autoknight, Emerald, Senko, DJ yourself, Rain, Billy, Alden, Kanto, Alicia, StarChaser, VentureCorp, Willyzin, Icanus, Vulpecula, Jimmy, Yoshi, Raptor's Talon, Avenicus, and Dark Malcontent. Check out all those links in the description now. Let's see where, let's pick up where we left off after I read this chat a little bit here. Megabuster Shepherd saying, when it comes to r/MyLittlePony, probably the best posts are the fanfic posts. Nothing but story sharing and creative writing prompts. I don't think we've really tackled any of those on this show, but if we find something like that, we could certainly go over it, get some ideas going. That I could imagine that being fun. Now, let's see here. God, which one of these buttons was it? It was this button. There we go. Haha. And I should also be streaming to you guys because I always forget something.
I would like that.
There we go.
It. I could just fucking guess what we're looking at.
So, Heather sent me this one weeks ago. What do you hate most about My Little Pony? For context, I love MLP. I'm addicted to these characters. I'm addicted, and there we go. I can read. I went to college. I'm addicted, and these characters are probably some of my favorite characters in television. Finally, somebody gets the reference. I love each and every one of them, and I absolutely love the time, effort, and even the lore that was put into the show. I'm bored and in a crappy mood, and there will always be flaws. We're not flawless. Take it away, Heather.
Where works in
circus. I don't know the rest of the
We
words.
got
'cause
dents
this
and
song
we
was
got quirks, but it's our flaws that
forgettable.
make us work. Yeah, we're not flawless. Oh, I missed that note.
Power on. Works in progress. Yeah.
The Royal Canterlot voice up in here. Whether we acknowledge it or not, give me an episode, a concept, character, song, literally anything that annoys you or you hate about the show, its creators, or the fandom. Anything at all. We can rant or debate each other, but just remember, no hate. Every opinion is valid. No, it's not. If your opinion was valid, you wouldn't be on. Also, I did want to throw this out there. If anybody knows like specifics on the whatever the frick is going on with BABScon right now, I'm morbidly curious to know what that is. So feel free to let me know in the
kind
chat.
of curious.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know in the chat. Hop into that Discord server that's linked at the top, and tell us you want to talk what you want to talk about, and we'll let you on the show to come talk about it. Just make sure your mic and your internet are at least halfway decent. Now then, let's see here. Not really MLP, but I hate that Netflix cut like 4 seasons.
That's copyright law for you.
Very annoying. That is very annoying that you can't just watch the whole series on one fucking place.
I think they pulled the entire series down by now, haven't they?
Yeah, I do believe they did.
It's all there.
Yes. So Mega Buster Shepherd, I see what you wrote there. Confire, the concert organizer, musicians have quit in protest. I have gathered that much. I'm trying to find out. I guess I'm trying to find out the other side as to why. Because all I'm hearing is that it was over some benign thing that your personal opinions or whatever. And I mean that's not outside of their MO. They did that to me and a bunch of other. They did it. They literally got on Twitter and said, if you are conservative, you're not allowed at BABScon. So
I want to say, like that, it's seeming to be about nothing. Just goes to show it was probably something personal, and they just took the quickest like excuse they could come up with, which wasn't a good one, but they just went with it.
Yeah. So just throwing that.
Okay, so Netflix does have the first 4 seasons still up,
and
apparently they added the YouTube series.
This guy says the toys he's make them dirty. What do you mean? I still have a pink Celestia in my box somewhere. Okay, to be fair, Celestia does have sort of a pinkish hue and outline in the show.
Now it's straight up pink they make her, but I think the chick is
the
saying
early
has
blind
them
bags did
dirty.
suck.
That's like the fucking. That's the slang of like, oh yeah, they fucking screwed them over.
The blind bag ponies were probably the most unmodel. Now, I'll give you the unmodel, but that's kind of the whole point, is that they're not like posable or accessorizable or whatever.
They were also all the same molds.
Yeah, they had like 4 body types you could be.
Yep.
They had Unicorn, Pegasus, and Earth Pony with the rare Alicorn.
They had the fucking toys. They had like 2 different like unicorn body types you could be, and 2 different like Earth Pony body types you could be, and fucking what's left? Pegasi? The Pegasi only got 1 body model for the bags, and then if you're a boy, then your face gets a little bigger.
Oh, hey, DJ, you were over here. You were over here at my house a few weeks ago, and you found Heather's like collector's guide.
Book.
Yeah, from like 2013 on the shelf there, and you had some comments on that. Do you remember what that was like?
Yeah, they're basically all the same model. They're all just different color versions of our main cast. And they even Trixie was a recolor of Rarity in that book, and it wasn't even her picture.
Yeah, Rusty saying
Rarity.
There's only 4 models. Ain't that the character model in general? Well, I think if we went through and counted all the body types, we'd get at least 10. I used to have.
So we haven't actually answered the question on this one yet. We just went right to the comments.
Yeah. Oh, well, I suppose we should here, but before we do that, I do want to tackle Forest Boy 99 here. Probably how often characters regress for the sake of an episode's moral. Now, I've made at least a couple of videos on this very talking point right here. I don't think they ever really regressed. Can somebody like give me an example of when a character regressed for the sake of the show's moral? Or the episode, rather.
Teacher of the year thing? Teacher of the month episode?
Yes, that was just Fall Weather Friends all over again. So that's a good example. I'll give you that.
And I skipped that episode.
Yeah, you did well to skip that episode. You literally didn't miss anything. It was literally just Fall Weather Friends again.
Yeah, that did kind of just retread things.
Like I've been known in the past as the guy that can like find the nuance and defend things that when everybody else was going, oh, they're just retreading the same character beats, or the Fluttershy's learning the same lesson. I've been able to explain that to people, and even I'm out here saying it was just Fall Weather Friends again. So, how about you, Heather? Do you have any examples of actual character regression?
I don't think I could do that off the top of my head. I could say the thing I was thinking about the question in general, like what do you like least about My Little Pony, or what's the worst thing? I hate that like how often Spike is done dirty, because when I think back on the episodes that focus to him, all I can think of are the ones where like I didn't want to watch him anymore because he was doing some cringeworthy stuff. Like I didn't like his games, like the Equestria Games episode. I didn't like him like when he was being the pet sitter. It was mostly okay when he did the life debt fucking trope, but like that wasn't even like an original concept to him. Like they tried to make it his own, which was okay, but like yeah, I don't know. I thought they didn't utilize Spike as well as they could have.
Yeah. Mega Buster Shepherd saying, honestly, I just default to Rainbow Dash is slightly tarded. Still best pony, but her brain is smooth as butter.
Well, as long as you admit it.
Yeah, well, that's a jock for you, and that's what I love about her character. She's kind of like that. You know, doesn't think about anything, and not everybody needs to be a thinker, right? She has a role to play in the group, as well as, you know, in her life, and it's not necessarily thinker. Now we have, you see, and beyond that, most of the problems she gets herself into are either from the lack of thinking, or sometimes even the trying to think. And, you know, the first example of that always comes to mind was Tanks for the Memories, where she tried to problem solve, but just started out like looking for the wrong solution firstly, and then just went about everything in the worst possible way. So there's two possible bad outcomes to a Rainbow Dash problem here, and one is rooted in her not thinking, and the other is rooted in her trying to think. No response. Okay, moving on. DJ, what do you hate most about the show?
Honestly, first thing that comes to mind is when they became self-aware.
Yeah? How so?
Especially when it came to the musical numbers. When they started saying that it was an in-universe thing where people just suddenly start singing rather than it just being, you know, a musical show, it really kind of takes some of the magic away, because they're not Phineas and Ferb.
That was funny. So that was funny though. Like that time in season 5 when Apple Bloom was about to start singing his song, and Scoodle goes, "No, we don't have time for a song." You know, I thought that was funny. I thought that it worked in.
I'm thinking things like in Bottled Up, where they have their little song that gets them unable to beat the escape room record.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Kind of I don't find that funny.
Really? Alrighty then.
It ruins the music for me. He's like,
think it's a
oh,
hit or
great,
miss
the
with
song's
me.
just a joke. Thanks. He wasted my time.
I kind of get that perspective. I can be kind of like, ah, come on, that's so dumb. But at the same time, sometimes it's funny.
7 equals 1 hard saying, agreed. Self-aware humor bugs me. I'm good with all types of humor as long as it's executed well. I think the only type of humor that I really don't like is in concept is cringe humor. Like, I can even do dark and lewd humor to certain degrees if they're good jokes. But I just can't stand cringe humor. And I think that's, where did we get cringe humor in this show? Yakety Sax was pretty cringe. That episode already got name dropped in there. Gosh darn. I'm actually having trouble remembering when we like had actual cringe humor in the show. I know we've had it. It's just my own memory failing me because I'm getting early onset Alzheimer's out here. Somebody help me out here.
I mean, isn't the entire existence of that teacher episode just one big cringe humor joke? I don't know. I cringe watching that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you cringe watching it. Let me look at an episode list real quick. I'm dumb, guys. I need to figure out what's wrong with my brain and try to fix it, or either that or just take myself out before it gets any worse and I lose all my sanity. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic episode list. There we go.
I look up cringe humor MLP. The first one is a Reddit response for Pinky making Fluttershy cry and Philly Vanilli.
Ah, jeez. All right, let me take a look here. We got Friendship is Magic. That was not really anything cringe there. Griffin the Brush Off. I don't really see any cringe humor here. You know what? Over a Barrel had that Pinkie Pie, you gotta share, you gotta care song. So that's kind of cringe, at least in my opinion. Let's see here. Some people were saying the way Rainbow Dash was acting in the Mysterious Ne'er-do-well was cringe way back in the day, and I disagreed with that.
Well, I mean, I think the point was that it was cringeworthy.
Hearts and Hooves Day. That was cringe.
Really? I liked it.
Well, the way the effects of the love poison were cringe.
Oh yeah, totally. But again, part of the point.
Yeah, but part of the point, and yeah, it was cringe in universe too, which is good. At least it was cringe in universe. They didn't try to play it straight. Let's see here. I'm not really seeing Too Many Pinkie Pies wasn't cringe, but that was way too much energy. Like I literally I woke up, watched Too Many Pinkie Pies on the day that it aired, and then went right the heck back to sleep because it had just worn me out completely.
Oh, I love Too Many Pinkie Pies.
Yep. Spike at Your Service Spike at Your Service definitely had a couple of cringe moments. One in my head is always, oh, she's even cute when she chews. Like, oh my god, dude. Give it a rest. She's not going to sleep with you. You're too young to even know what that is. Season 4. Anytime Rarity designed a piece of clothing in Season 4, it was cringe. But at least it wasn't meant for to be like serious or part of the plot for the episode there. I'm not really seeing so then we got moving on to Season 5. I'm wasting a whole lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to recall the last, 12, 13 years of my life here. Because a lot of the stuff there was plenty of stuff that people called cringe throughout the whole time here, but it's like, nah, that's a realistic portrayal here, and you don't understand that because you've never experienced it. And oftentimes when, throughout the years when Brony's called a scene or something about an episode cringe, it was usually just because that they didn't understand that these were actually like realistic portrayals of how people might react to these situations, but also that they kind of lack the empathy to understand that might be the case. Newbie Dash! Oh, Rainbow Dash was definitely cringe in Newbie Dash. I think we can
I
agree.
tried to forget that one. Yeah.
Yep. And that falls into the Rainbow Dash's trying to think category that we were talking about earlier. I think that's it, though. Buckball season was a great freaking episode. Gabby Gums, or not Gabby, Gabriella. Gabby Gums was from season 2. Gabriella is kind of a Mary Sue, in my opinion. Let's see.
She appeared in what, 2-3 episodes?
Hard to say anything. Hard to say anything was difficult for me personally because Trixie. I've had friends like Trixie putting me in those situations that Trixie was putting Starlight. All bottled up. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, hard to say anything is about Big Mac getting with Sugar Belle.
Which did have its cringe moments.
Yeah. All I remember was beginning of season 7. Yeah, all bottled up. Let's see here. Celestial advice and Celestia telling Twilight there's no wrong way to fantasize was kind of cringe. Rainbow Dash's parents were difficult to watch sometimes. Let's see. The changelings were cringe into Change a Changeling. I've gotten very loose with my definition of cringe as I've been going through the seasons here. Season 8 definitely had the most cringe. The Maud couple. Horseplay. Oh my god, Horseplay was cringe.
Horseplay? I don't remember that one.
That was the one where Celestia couldn't act. And she was trying to put on a stage play for her birthday. And Twilight was trying to dance around her feelings. It was all very out of character, in my opinion, actually. The thumbnail for Breakup Breakdown has Firebrand, Silver, and Doc in it. What the heck? That's not the episode, Google.
They just taking shots from whatever.
Like when they put Doc on the official Equestria Girls DVD.
I know. I was randomly thinking about that the other day. That was cringe. There were...
You know what I remember?
There were so many levels of approval that you need to go through in order to get through distribution. And all of these people are college educated and make way the frick more money than I do. And you let Dr. Wolf on the frickin' box. How did that happen?
I will say, the one I remember is, you remember the Fox guy? Who was the Fox guy in the fandom?
Tricky.
Yeah, Tricky ended up in someone, Nostalgia Chick. Nostalgia Chick had a video about MLP and put a screenshot of an episode up, and it had him in it.
Tricky was good, though. He was a good analyst when he was around. I miss Tricky. Let's see here. Sparkle 7 was a great freaking episode, actually. Let's see here. She's All Yak. Nah, I can pass She's All Yak. But Sweet and Smoky, I
like
cannot
it.
pass. What the frick was Garble in that episode?
A hippie?
Oh yeah, I didn't like him.
Or a
Yeah, that was-
hipster,
I mean,
This is
actually.
how I want
That-
my ribs.
Here-
Not
here's
this.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can have bully characters, and we seem to have forgotten that. But it's like every time we make a character that's a bully, like Garble has been throughout the rest of the series up until this point, they gotta make it that he's got this like super effeminate side that he's trying to hide. And it's like sometimes people are just like that. You don't need to make them gay every single
He's a
time.
bongo boy.
He's a bongo frickin' beatnik hippie. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. And that's it. That's the whole series. So yeah, they did cringe humor a couple of times, but it wasn't really. They didn't really do it a lot there. But my biggest thing with the show, going back to the original question here, was a lot of unanswered questions lore-wise. And that always drives me nuts. Because it's such an easy problem to avoid if you care and take care of your writers and have any kind of consistency. And if you don't let frickin' corporate intervene with your writing process, which I understand is, part of the nature of the beast, but the corporate people don't know how to write. Do not let them dictate your story beats. And how about so Heather, did you answer the question yet?
Freaking, where did we go with this question?
What
Oh wait,
what do
did
you
we
hate?
do
like
the
about
first-
him?
like I said it was that I didn't think they utilized Spike the best. Like all his episodes that he's in, like a lot of the Spike censored episodes, like I don't like thinking about him because they have him doing cringeworthy crap. That's kind of how we were on the topic of it. That's what made me think of it.
Yeah.
Like, what's the good Spike episode that you remember? Because I have a hard time recollecting.
Now here's the thing though, is I thought a lot of the Spike episodes were good. I can't really think of a bad Spike episode.
Really? Because I was not a fan of Equestria Games or freaking Princess Spike or Spike at Your Service was passable, but I can't think of one that I really liked.
I would say the best one was when we went to the Dragonlands with him and met Ember.
That one was good. So yeah, there was one.
Yeah, the Gauntlet of Fire. That was that one. The Dragon Quest was a pretty good episode too.
That one seemed a bit controversial among the fandom at the time.
Really? Now here's the thing. I don't remember it being controversial among the fandom at the time. So what can you tell me about
I think it was just the dragons being dicks.
Well, yeah, that's because
It was kind of one of those things where you're writing one race off as just dicks. Plus, they were very degrading to Spike at the start of the episode.
Perhaps. I don't remember that. I remember they were fascinated that Spike was fascinated with the dragon migration. Wanted to know more about his people and what he is and things like that. But yeah, I mean, it was easy for me to get over because I'm aware that some cultures are just like that, and you get people like that, and then they band together and form these competitive societies that are just kind of like that. So I've seen it, so I've seen it in real life, so it didn't really register as a problem to me. You're not seeing the question because I had the screen blocked out just to, not be staring at this one comment for forever. I thought that might not be as interesting, but I think we can move on now. Let's criticize our show a little so we don't seem like crazy fanatics. Okay, now you're already off to a bad start. Because the whole reason I got into content creation was because you guys so often look like crazy fanatics in the way that you criticize your show. Did you, Brony? So let's see what we got here. We got a nice gif of Starlight eating pancakes because we know that she is the best pony.
Shut the hell up. We both know you don't believe that.
I believe that.
Starlight and Rainbow Dash are the best ponies. They are the OTP, and they are canon. We know this.
Oh, what's with this? What the hell?
Oh, geez. How about, can I get... Hey, man, you got any more of them pixels?
What are we looking at here?
I have no idea why we're, got the...
What are these?
Okay, let's see here. Oh, you know what? Well, I think we just we together as a panel just criticized the show a little bit, so I think we can get into the comments here. Lightning Strike Dust saying Equestria Girls didn't get a proper ending because Friendship is Magic happened to wrap up before it could receive a true conclusion. The fandom may be split on Equestria Girls and whether it was good or worth being created, but for those who enjoy it, not getting to see what happened to Sunset Shimmer and the rest of the Humane 7 is a real bummer. All we needed was one more movie or special to tie everything together. I have no
idea. They're not wrong.
Yeah.
They could have done.
I could have done with more
graduation finale with Sunset deciding what she was going to do.
Yep. Let's see here. Okay. Rainbow Dash is awesome, but because she's arguably the most flawed of the main 6, her bad episodes are really bad. 28 Pranks Later and 246 Great are my pet peeves, and I hate to rewatch them. She acts so bratty. Edit. Rainbow Dash and flawed characters fan here, not trying to hate on her, just pointing out how her bad moments tend to be so much worse than the other main 6. At times, even to the point where it gets kinda unbearable for me. Edit 2. God almighty. This person must have gotten ratioed. Thanks to the person who pointed out that 246 Great. That's what I meant. Yes, the main 6 have some bad episodes, as well as I just find it kind of sad that the writers mess her up a lot more than the others. Yes, they do have some bad episodes too, but generally they are treated better. Again, flawed character lover here, but she does seem to get picked on more harder than I'd personally like. And though those 2 episodes really stick out like sore thumbs, she has other bad moments as well, less bad, but still, you're just repeating yourself at this point. What do we think about this, Heather? You're our resident Rainbow Dash hater.
Yeah, she does suck. What can I really add to this? I didn't think 28 Pranks Later. Well, I wouldn't say that episode was bad. I don't know if they mean as in the episode's bad or it's like just a bad showing of her.
Well, it's certainly a bad showing of Rainbow Dash. I've made this point before, but I'll make it again. If the character is learning something in this episode, in whatever episode you're watching, you know, in their own way, they are the villain of the episode. So each episode that focuses on a character has a pretty decent chance of making that character look bad in one way or another. That's part of learning the lesson. Yeah, but I guess
there are ways you could make them look bad, but like in an understandable way. Like 28 Pranks Later, it's just Rainbow Dash being an asshole. Like Rainbow Dash just falls into this habit of just being an asshole for no good reason.
Like, yeah, because she is. If we're being real here, she's not a jerk on purpose, but she is a frickin' jerk.
Yeah, like take Rarity for instance. Her key episode where the Manhattan episode where she was entering in that competition against Polo Mare and she loaned her a swatch thinking, oh, she's just gonna use it for accents.
Rarity takes Manhattan, yeah.
Yeah, Rarity takes Manhattan, and then she totally copied her line. I understand why she was so frustrated. She was lashing out at the wrong people, but I could totally understand why she was mad. She wasn't being a jerk out of nothing, or just because she thought being a jerk was funny. Like in 28 Pranks Later, where Rainbow Dash was just going too far with pranks, despite like she was the only one laughing at the joke. So that was a showing of Rarity being like a jerk, like a bad person, but it's understandable why she was like that. She just got like totally screwed over by someone she considered at least a friendly acquaintance and has to make an entire line by scratch. So I understand why she's snippy and like, you know, all that shit. But in the end, she at least makes up for it, like, you know, getting a private showing of that play she promised her friends to go see. But Rainbow Dash doesn't make it up to anybody. She's just kind of like, I'm sorry, I learned my lesson. The only time I can think of that she did was for her parents in that one episode, and that time around, she like kind of exploded. But at least that was the one where I was like, okay, it's kind of understandable why you're being a jerk.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, Rainbow Dash more often than not has the I'm being a jerk because I'm an asshole, and at the end of the day, all I'm gonna do is apologize and not much else.
I haven't really seen Rainbow Dash repeat mistakes though. Like, she's got a similar problem to Fluttershy in that it's not that she's learning the same thing over and over again. It's that she's got to learn different aspects of the same character flaw. And overcome them piece by piece, which I'm sympathetic to. People have to do that. I've had to do that myself. I still do that sometimes. Here's one. 28 from Christian in the chat. 28 pranks later made everyone look bad. Yes, Twy made the rash one. She turned all her friends into zombies, and that won't end up terribly. Christian, you know it was a prank, right? In the
it's just a prank, bro.
In
it's
28
a social
pranks,
experiment.
like,
the camera's
she
right there.
She got the whole the whole point of that was the zombie thing was Twilight got the whole town in on it to get revenge on Rainbow Dash. She didn't actually turn anybody into zombies. Go watch the episode again. In a non-kid show, Rainbow probably would have tried to kill somebody. I think Rainbow Dash tried to kill a couple of people, and it was a kid show. I'd have to go back through the episode list again to try to remember exactly where she did that. She was definitely getting some potentially lethal shots on those changelings in Canterlot weddings. So yeah, there's that, I guess. Rainbow Dash could definitely kill somebody. Pinkie Pie would kill somebody on accident. Rarity would definitely kill somebody on purpose too. But Twilight would kill people on that. Why am I thinking about who's capable of taking another person's life right now? That's a weird train to...
I think I'm like leaking over to you because I keep getting into that freaking infection AU for My Little Pony and keep telling you and showing you shit, and it's leaking into your brain.
It might be. It might be. I stumbled on an infection AU the other day where it's like, oh, they're all turning into trees.
Oh yeah, that one was cool. I gotta stop though. When I start going down a rabbit hole of horror stuff, sometimes it's hard for me to get out of it, and suddenly I'm a little jumpy. But like, it's just so cool. I'm getting into like just off topic. I'm getting into the rabbit hole of like the fucking analog horror shit, and I know I shouldn't. That stuff gets a little too like real. Like, not as in real, but as in, like, they use the liminal and common spaces, so now everything seems scary.
Yeah. Here's one. Starlight's backstory was really bad. That's the point. That's the point.
It was... What? What do you mean the point is it's stupid?
I've explained this to you before, Heather. It was she overreacted and had to learn how and why that was an overreaction. That was part of her thing.
No, what gets me is that no one in the show said it. Like, no one just went up to her and be like, really? You became a bad guy because your one childhood friend moved away? What the fuck is wrong with you? And, like, no one ever told her that. Everyone was just like, oh, Valid, that's so sad. No, shut the fuck up. That was stupid. You're an idiot. What is wrong with you? What is mentally wrong with you? Is it because of your mom? Is it because of your dead mom?
I believe Andy Price or Jim Miller said that Starlight has both of her parents alive. We just didn't get a chance to see the both of them.
Well, what's the excuse then? You had a stable family situation. You obviously had a supportive father who still loves you. You fucking... Oh, I lost one friend because he got a cutie mark and went to school. Didn't bother looking him up at any point to see how he is. Didn't bother to make another friend. Boo-hoo-hoo. I'm gonna go through my goth phase, but that's not enough. I'm gonna start a cult. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in the history of ever. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Of all the reasons to make a cult, you could have done anything. I would have been like, all right, valid. But that's the thing where that is so fucking stupid. What the fuck do you mean the point was stupid? If they had pointed it out in canon that was fucking stupid, if Twilight had seen that and just went, seriously, that's fucking stupid, I would have been like, okay. But the fact that no one in canon is just like, that's a really dumb reason to become a bad guy. It's just...
right. Well, here's the thing, Heather. Yes, that was the point, and they delivered that. They delivered that lesson by kicking the crap out of her on at least 3 occasions, probably anywhere between like 3 and upwards of 10 times throughout the series. Not when Starlight was messing up. And here's the thing, Heather.
Literally call her out on it.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But something else I want to point out here, Heather, is that when somebody has their finger over the button of a nuke, you don't call them retarded. You try to talk them down, and sometimes you got to play to the ego a little bit in order to do that. I'm not saying that's what happened in that particular episode, but I would have done the same exact thing. So DJ, when did they explicitly call her out on how like dumb that was?
In the episode, Spike, I'm looking at the transcript. Starlight says, and just like that, my friend was gone. His family recognized his magical talent and sent him off to Canterlot. I never saw him again. Spike goes, well, why not? Because his cutie mark. He got his and I didn't. He moved on and I didn't. I stayed here and never made another friend because I was too afraid another cutie mark would take them away too. With Twilight's response being, that's ridiculous. A cutie mark can't take your friends away.
There you go, Heather.
Not hard enough. No, that's not hard enough.
What hard else would you get that's not going to result in her doubling down to the point of quadrupling down?
Oh my god, she was already quadrupling down. She was fucking hopeless. My problem was, like, what was the difference?
So you would doom everyone just because you want to yell at her.
Yeah, I would doom everyone. It's like, that is the dumbest reason ever. You made a cult, you freaking idiot. You couldn't even make up a better...
And that's why you're not the ruler of Equestria, Heather. You don't know how to defuse the situation.
I'm not the ruler of Equestria because, honestly, I would have just killed her.
That's not how ponies work.
Just kill her! I can't deal with this shit. She tried to rip the fabric of reality. Space and time was at a risk. I was a little pressed by Twilight too. Like, Twilight, I get you're trying. I feel like if you weren't trying to preserve her life, you could have did this a lot sooner. Just fucking, why do we go to the trouble of this shit?
You could have, but you have to try. Right? Which is the lesson of the episode. And then a few seasons later,
Twilight tried to kill her. She couldn't.
Yeah, and then
remember, she fired a laser that would cut her in half, and she dodged it.
There's no way Twilight was using lethal measures. There's no way.
It cut the cloud in half.
It cut a cloud it cut a puff of water vapor in half. So DJ, I want you to go. I want you to go out there. I want you to go. And I want you to boil some water on your stove, right? And then karate chop it with your hand. Congratulations, that's lethal force you just applied. I'm sure if you hit me with that karate chop, I would die. That's not how that frickin' works. It's a cloud, you moron.
We've seen equestrian clouds don't work that way.
No, pony magic interacts with clouds.
Fucking cloud wall.
Yeah, it's
that didn't
Pegasus,
cut it in half.
It's Pegasus ponies that can stand on the clouds, or in general, things with wings in Equestria that they can stand on the clouds. It doesn't mean that that's how they work. Pony is more durable than a freaking cloud. Thank you, Rusty. Oh, and Christian saying, Brony, I know it's a prank. Everyone else knows it's a prank. It's RD that doesn't know it's a prank. Okay, so Christian. Rainbow Dash was hurting people with her prank. She was causing like actual physical injury. We needed to show her in like the harshest way possible that, actions have consequences. So yeah, that she needed to get scared straight. That's how Rainbow Dash learns most of her lessons, because as we've said many times on the show, as well as tonight, Rainbow Dash is a little bit stupid. So she needs to get beat over the head with things in a way that hurts, so she actually learns the lesson. And by God, does she have a thick frickin' skull. So
He's
yeah,
someone that
and-
needs special needs learning without being special needs.
and let's see here. There was another comment in the chat that I saw. Oh, Paladin going, wait, Starlight's mom is alive, but we ship her with her dad with Sun's mom. Well, don't do that.
Yeah. Both their partners
Don't
are alive.
worry,
It's been
it's
stated
a
by the
horse
show staff. They
society.
just
What
weren't
are you
needed.
It's a horse
doing?
society. You make it a herd.
What are you doing? Oh my god. What are you doing shipping? Don't ship. Shipping is bad. You're not supposed to do that.
But Brony, I
Alright.
gotta get my packages to the other side of the country.
Yeah, okay, well you can use UPS for that, but you can't, put freaking characters in relationships. Okay? I, Prince Consort Brawny Buck, use my royal authority to ban shipping in the Brony fandom. You are no longer allowed to write
I
shipping.
do not allow it. All final decisions must be run past me because the authority came from me, and I say no.
See, this is why
You
Heather
need to-
married. She needed someone that was good at diplomacy, but she doesn't want to use it anyway.
Yeah, it's not helping if you override all of my decisions. Royal Advisor DJ, I need you to be the tiebreaker here.
Happy wife, happy life. You're screwed.
God, that's the second time you've broken the bro code on my show, DJ.
I'm not here for the bro code. I'm here for the chaos.
Yay! Come to my stream tonight, Chaos and Crochet, where I will crochet and things will get chaotic, by the way, at 10 o'clock.
I didn't necessarily mean that chaos, but that works too.
Seven equals 1 heart. I ship Brawny and Heather, and voila, they're married. I don't think I don't think you had a hand in this situation.
He willed it. He willed the ship into existence. He's like, oh, these two people don't look like they get along at all.
I didn't even
Mash
have a
them
hand in this
together.
situation. I was literally like, don't date me. I'm homeless. And Heather's like, I'm not going to listen to you.
And I said, bet. I'm going to make you a prince.
Oh, see, Bronny, that's where you messed up in the first place. You told her not to do something.
I know, right? This chick just freaking defies me. Like I could be like Heather, don't drink that poison, and she'll freaking chug it before I finish the sentence.
That's because the poison was alcohol.
That just sounds like Heather needs to watch Apothecary Diaries.
Is it good? Because I'm looking at
It's
I'm watching
hilarious.
Kill right now. It isn't? Okay, that's good.
The main character
watching that
often
one.
turns into a cat girl.
Really? Because every clip I've seen of that show, it's like very serious and dramatic.
Oh, it is. It's very much a murder investigation show with a lovable dork of a young woman who loves booze and loves poisoning herself.
Oh yeah, we're about to get fucked, but first I gotta finish Kill la Kill, and then I'll watch.
Yeah,
that one.
I got Heather on Kill la Kill last night because I knew, even I didn't like that show, but I knew Heather would like that show. So
Yeah, and I was going through a few animes. Like I watched the first episode of a couple animes to see if I can get into it. Nothing was getting me, but girl, fucking Kill la Kill starts pretty fucking hard, and I'm like, all right.
Also, the main character's name is Mau Mau, so she's often described as a cat.
Oh man, makes me think of Mao Mao and the Heroes of Pure Heart. R.I.P. Man, I love that show.
Honestly, I think you'll dig it because she is a deadpan sass master that surprisingly still has manners.
The White Knight saying, fine, no shipping, but I will not be denied courting Lady Rarity as a noble knight. That is cringe, sir. That's the worst type of shipping. Canon XOC. Get out of my dojo.
They brought the coupons on the back of the Winn-Dixie receipts back. Oh, sorry. I got a very adult happy moment. Adult as in practicality. I'm sorry. Did you guys see the Winn-Dixie receipts didn't have coupons on them, on the back of them for the past couple of weeks? And I was like, oh man, I liked those. And then they brought them back.
All
What's
right.
a
So
It's a broken
we
story.
need to move on. The Cutie Mark Crusaders deserve to save the day at least once. I wanted them to have the opportunity to be heroes so bad. to come to the rescue of the main six to help save Equestria, to earn a stained glass window in Canterlot. Let me just stop you right there. Did they not do that in the end of Season 8? And did we not see them with a stained glass window at the end of Season 9? I might be remembering wrong, but I feel like that's happened. Luna also deserved more time with them as the younger sibling. I wanted her to bond with the CMCs and mentor the CMCs like Celestia did for Twilight. Sweetie Belle also never got a chance, never got the spotlight to sing. Starlight Glimmer's motivation to hate cutie marks was weak. I needed to see her ostracized by her community, like she was for a little while there. I needed to see why cutie marks were so valuable that she grew to resent them. We already had this conversation tonight. Oh, yeah, it is White Eagle. I'm dyslexic. I'm sorry. I misread. No, I'm not even dyslexic. I just straight up misread. Sorry about that, White Eagle. Or James. I'm just going to call you James because it's in parentheses, and that's a lot easier to say. Starlight also should never have had a cutie mark to begin with. I wanted the CMCs to help her find her special talent. Okay, so it's not possible. Yeah, this is a fan fiction. It's not possible for Starlight to have never gotten a cutie mark because of having that much talent and that much power and that much practice and that much knowledge of magic is going to manifest a cutie mark when she's going to have to at some point realize, in order for me to accomplish what I need to accomplish, I must be really freaking good at magic. So
wait a minute, Brony.
Yeah.
Let the man cook, because that would actually have made her backstory not as stupid. That could have been the focal point, like, oh, my friend got his cutie mark, but I never made a friend again because I never got my cutie mark, and that's why I hate cutie marks, and that's why I made a cult about people, and I don't want them to have cutie marks. That would have made her actually good!
No, it wouldn't.
Shut your mouth. Oh, also,
it would have given her too much sympathy at the start.
Sorry, I got guests in my room. But yeah, no, I thought that would have actually been interesting. If she never had a cutie mark and never got one, that would explain the complex more.
Nah.
That's Brony if you want some lemonade.
Honey, do you want your lemonade?
In a few minutes here. We only got a few minutes left of this stream, and then I'm going to take a half-hour break before the next stream.
And eat some chicken.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to move on. Which of the main six are the best mother figure?
That's
Heather,
a question.
Heather, what do you think?
Like, if I were to say the most fun mom would be Pinkie Pie, but I think, like, the most reasonable mother would be Applejack. You know, like, she'd be very level-headed, very caring, but also very disciplined. She'd probably be the perfectly balanced mother, as Applejack always is. I swear to God, she must be like Thanos' wet dream with how balanced she is. But yeah,
well, other than the one episode.
Yeah. That was just like one though. Twilight Sparkle would be the one freaking out most of the time about like things their kids was doing. She'd be like the mom that plans out their entire life on a freaking calendar, being like, okay, in this year you're going to go to this school and do this, that, and that. I could just see her over planning for her child and needing. That's probably why most of these characters should have a partner if they want to have.
I was about to say, Heather, Twilight would probably be reminiscent at least of your older sister.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, but you can see it, but you see it too, don't you?
I don't want to think
especially on the academic side. All right. I think it would be Rarity.
Really? Please explain to me your reasoning.
Rarity seems the most, it's definitely between Rarity and Applejack because they are the most balanced in terms of their mental state. Like if you take Fluttershy for example, she would be too overprotective and almost too motherly. Pinkie would be too loose. Twilight would be too strict. Rainbow Dash just straight up cannot be a mother. Rainbow Dash is not fit.
Rainbow Dash left to go get the milk.
Yeah. So that leaves it between Applejack and Rarity. Rarity definitely has the most sympathy and the most empathy and the most like ability to learn what a kid might need, and you know, like let the kid grow. Applejack, and which is where Applejack tends to fail, because Applejack does have her tendency to get overprotective, especially when it becomes a matter of her family. And you know, and where Rarity really only had one example where she completely failed to recognize that Sweetie Belle was growing up. Applejack has had like 3 or 4 episodes dedicated to her not realizing that kids need their own independence sometimes.
You know what? I would say my thought was that Rarity, being a career mare, might have a like, you know, kind of a high-speed life and might, you know, motherly duties would probably get put to the wayside sometime. But I think at the end of the day, you are correct. It's all just a balancing act. And I
Yeah.
guess my reasoning was that Applejack would be able to take it slow because her career is part of the home. The family is part of the business. So it's all intermingled. So I guess that's why Rare Jack would be the best parenting duo. That's why the ship should be canon, because they'd be the best at parenting together. Because Applejack would rein in and Rarity would, like, you know, they just even each other out. So anyways, thank you for contributing to my video essay, Brony.
And then who said it in a Cosmin Inspira thinks Fluttershy.
You know, she's a mom you probably would want to have. Be like, oh, she's so nice, understanding.
Paladin says,
like,
but
Pinky.
And Paladin says, but Pinky is a mom at the end, and that what a tragedy that's the only one that actually, as far as we can tell, procreated.
You know, that doesn't mean she's the best mother figure, but you know, I bet she's learned a lot since then. I mean, she obviously is like, oh, I had to get a sitter for Little Cheese here. And Little Cheese, I don't know, we can't tell much from Little Cheese, but they seem like a fun kid.
Alrighty then. DJ, how about you? What do you just wrap this up real quick? Tell us who you think is the best mother figure.
I actually think it'd be Twilight.
Yeah? Why so?
Well, by the end of the series, she's worked out a lot of her eccentricities. She's not really the unstable bookworm who freaks out at the second a schedule goes off the rails. For one thing, she wouldn't really need to want for anything, since, well, she's got connections and power, so she has every resource at her hand in order to take care of a foal. And I also think she would be the most willing to go to the others for anything she needs help with. The others usually have their own ways of doing things that they're not usually very eager to break out of.
Harriman says Rainbow Dash would completely change as a parent because you'd realize she has a child's life to guide and help, in my opinion. That's an interesting theory.
People change irreparably when they have a child, like especially if you're having like a natural born child, like you're bearing your own child. It changes you so much physically, and I hear mentally. I cannot say from firsthand experience, of course, but it's hard to say. But I just realized from what DJ said, with all the resources Twilight have, I realized Rarity's fucking rich. She's gonna have a rich kid. That kid's gonna have it made.
Did you guys see it?
I'm gonna go against Brony and say Rarity would have a nanny raised kid.
I could see it. And I do also have to like acknowledge that Applejack, even though she had 3 or so episodes dedicated to the fact that she can't really recognize when a kid is growing up and needs intelligence or needs independence, by the same token, she had those several episodes to learn that lesson. So she's probably learned that lesson by now. So I don't know. I guess we're asking which season would make the best mother figure. And with that, you need to listen to audiobook Simply Rarity by Dr. Wolf. Maybe I will.
I like that one. That's kind of why my shop is named that, Simply a Rarity.
Yeah. Go to her shop and buy some stuff off of her. That link will be in the description of her stream, which is going to happen in an hour. But first, I need to wrap this stream up so I can get some chicken, so I can go play some more Ponyvania. So I hope to see you all back here in a half hour to play some Ponyvania with me leading up until Heather's stream. So I hope you all had fun tuning in to the show tonight. I greatly value the chat and everybody's opinions in it. DJ, did you have fun tonight?
I always have fun.
Good. Heather, did you have fun?
Even when Heather's railing against stuff that she
I
shouldn't.
had fun. I got to rant about how Starlight Glimmer sucks and how Rarity and Rarajack is the best thing ever.
Alrighty then. So we'll see you guys back here in about a half hour for some more Ponyvania. Until then, stay safe, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Say goodnight, everyone.